grow your roots all the way down through the stratosphere, the mineral layer, the water, there's waters in the layers, all the way down to the core of Mother Gaia, which is the consciousness of Mother Earth. Earth has many names. She's had many names through the cycles. But you grow your roots down and you connect, catch on to the core, and you ground yourself. Because in spiritual work, when you do your spiritual work, you can get caught out there. Like our sisters and brothers that we see around on the street, homeless. You know, they're in between dimensions. Do you understand? Their consciousness went out of their body shell, their grounded shell. This is your grounded self. And then you have a high spiritual self that resides in the spiritual realm. You're a multidimensional being. Many, many, many aspects.
Absolutely.
You say?
I said absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'll go on and on running my mouth. But if there's any questions.
Tell us a little bit about you. Name again.
And why you decide to move to this wonderful community.
This heaven?
Yeah.
Paradise.
Do I have to say any other words?
How long you've been experiencing heaven on earth here?
You know, it's really, heaven on earth is really a state of mind, right?
Consciousness.
So,
absolutely.
what you perceive heaven to be in your mind, the reality that you perceive is the reality that you live. Do you understand? So, if I'm projecting out from my immortal soul that I want to perceive and experience heaven, then that's what my walk will be. That's what my journey will be. And it's the same for all. We're all connected. There's no separation. Like there's a great grand ocean. I could take ocean and put it in 2 or 3, 5 or 6 bottles. You can sit down, brother. Oh, okay. So you can put the ocean in many, many bottles. But in that bottle is still the ocean. So the great oversoul, nature, what people refer to as God, it's in many, many containers, 7 billion containers that occupy the earth. Do you understand? Expressing itself in 7 billion different ways. So when you bow and you greet each other, you are bowing and greeting to the divinity within. Right. A lot of three-dimensional egotism people may think that you're bowing to them, but you're bowing to a long line of lineages of the divine. Divine being the vine. The vine. Your mother and father are on your shoulders, and their mother and fathers, and their mother's vine. And this vine goes all the way back to the origin, or the source, which is you also. Do you understand?
Yes.
So did I answer your question? I don't think I did. I always get...
You from Atlanta?
Originally, I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Philly's good.
That's where, you know, my journey, this incarnation began for me. And then, of course, we moved around. I've lived in California. I've lived in New York, Bushwick Avenue. And then we migrated down to Atlanta. In 1980, I met with the spiritual master and teacher, Dr. Malachi Kobina York L., also Pa, Nabab, Ya, Noon. And he answered a lot of questions for me on my spiritual journey. I just buried my daughter that year, or the year before. So it was a lot of healing, a lot of answers that I received. And I always knew I had to be in Africa, you know. She's pulling souls back home. And she was strong on mine. You understand? Ever since I was a teenager, running through the house with an afro, my father was like, you know. Then when the nose ring came, it was like, then the name change came, like, I named you such and such. I was like, okay, Daddy, you know. But I had to come home.
Yeah, you did.
You know, so when my last born she graduated, and I invited her to come with me. She said she wanted to go live with her father. I said, okay, fine. I got her there. And then I went and, you know, I was reborn. I said, I'm going to go be a teenager again. You understand? So
Yeah.
I'm doing me.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But really, I'm in service
Yeah.
to all. You understand? So whatever the spirit, when you line up with your soul, your immortal soul, when you look in the mirror and stare in your pupils, which are holes to the real you, your soul, when you stare, you're going to get a jolt because you're going to realize that it's not what you look like. It's not what you say. It's not what you do. The real you is an energy essence, the most valuable thing in existence that connects to all other what appear to be external beings. The real you is an immortal soul.
Absolutely.
Who and what you are? Who you are is soul. What you become is spirit. Your soul attracts your spirit at the time of incarnation. And some beings, they attract 2 and 3 spirits. Some attract a multiple of spirits. Do you understand? So your soul is the jewel. It's what everybody wants, your energy. They'll hire you and pay you for 60, 70 years just for your soul, your energy. Do you understand? When you get it back, it's like, oh, you're a kid again. Because you can do what you want, when you want, where you want, how you want. But we could have always done that. We were just indoctrinated when we came out of our mother's vortex, because she brought us from one realm to another. Do you understand?
Yes.
When we came out of our mother's vortex, we went into our family life, and we were reprogrammed, deprogrammed. We forgot our spiritual contracts we made prior to incarnation to this realm. So the whole journey of remembering, becoming a member of Ray again.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's your life's assignment, to remember who and what you are and what you incarnated for, what agreement you made in the spiritual realm.
Yes.
Like the sister Jada Pickett on the movie Matrix, when the council stated the problem. There's a problem that's going on with Mother Gaia, Mother Earth. Do you understand? She needs our love and assistance again. She's dying off. Do you understand?
Yes.
In the spiritual realm, when this problem was admitted, we are souls that stood up and said, we will incarnate in an earth vessel, a lower version of our high self that sits in the spiritual realm. We will incarnate to earth realm in the earth vessel and get this done. But we had to forget, because the thing for experience and expanding, if you know, then you don't.
That's right.
You don't experience and you expand. So we forgot amongst when we were incarnated to this realm. Then we came into this realm. We lived an earth life. When your physical vehicle is given back to the earth, when you expire, your soul, which lives for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the earth, the Bashara, only lives for 120, it's supposed to, but we don't make it that far. However, when it goes back to Mother Gaia, because it belongs to her, your mother created as she walked 9 months amongst the planet. She breathed in the breath of life and created your shell for your consciousness to use while you are on this mission. So once it expires, your soul will return to the spirit realms, and you'll make another agreement to incarnate as a rock, a chair, a tree, a white person, black person, a male, female, your mother or your father. Your soul has to go through all these experiences, because when it does, and on its last time around of experiences, throughout the experiences, it expands. But as you get more and more expanded, and this is your consciousness I'm speaking of, because that's what you really are. Do you understand? When your consciousness expands, the planet expands. And when she expands, she's expanded so much now that she's coming out of the 3rd dimensional frequency. And she has to ascend on to the 4th, 5th dimensional. The 5th dimensional frequency is a frequency of unconditional divine love. If you can keep yourself now grounded in that frequency, your path, your purpose will open up for you. You'll line up and everything's gravy. It's easy. You just have to remember to stay tuned into it. First thing in the morning, before you open your eyes. Dear immortal soul, show me my way today. Do you understand? It's not you planning anything. You don't plan anything. That's the ego. You understand? The soul already has it laid out for you. You just have to open your eyes and see the prompts, see the omens. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a question. And I have a communication. It is such an honor. Yes. To be sitting here with you once again, my sister, myself. It is a high honor. I came here in to Benu village with Bamani the year and a half ago with Africa for the Africans. And we had a dynamic group like we have this dynamic group now. And I knew my sister Nunette, who I have much love for and much respect and pride in, and I am here to help her and this community, my sister, and the new village to develop. That's what I'm here for now, right now. But it was this sister that was a big part of you. You helped me to get me here again this time. And for that, I'm so thankful. You meet people in life, and I really didn't know the gifts the sister have and had. We come out of Atlanta, you see? But I'm an artist and a calligrapher, and I won't limit it to that. But when I saw the meduneta, as the Greek called the hieroglyphics, well, it was this artisan that created much of what I saw, and I was like, wow, I hadn't seen that since being in Edenton, Georgia, with Dr. Malachi Z. York's community that he established based on Nile Valley Kemetic civilization and much great teachings to lift up our consciousness. And then when I got here, I came back, and how you kind of go a little ahead, and I saw this beautiful queen. I saw myself in her in that, and we had some time together. And I came a little ahead of the group, and I got a reading from my sister. When I say a reading, she departed wisdom and confirmation upon me. Now, I know God indwells me, in me, as me, through me. That's my experience, but I hadn't had the opportunity since then to talk directly to you. But I have communicated with you through social media and those kinds of things, but I can't really communicate that well like I wanted to. So I just really, really, really want to thank you in person again. And this wasn't here. This wasn't. This was constructed through the genius of her mind. And I want to emulate some of that.
And the
you see,
energy of our Nana
yes, the family. And you see things that exist, and they exist because they're in our mind. I know that. I have great visions. I see things, but Sister Queen, Mother Goddess, thank you, Madasi Papa, for coming and preparing a place for us, for holding a space for us, because there has to be those pioneering spirits like she and Sister Nunette. And between the two of you, queens and goddesses, and there are others, brothers and sisters, that is what I like to grow up into and out into. So I come back to say that I'm ready, I'm preparing, I'm listening for answers, direction, and guidance from the ancestors. My family in Atlanta, my students in Atlanta, and those folks in Atlanta who love me as they do, they have encouraged and supported me to this point. You see, so my question is to use, it's a question, Sister Goddess, around the role at this time of the African woman, the African womb. Because I want you to share anything that might assist me, because I'm doing the best I can with what I have.
And that's the best one you do.
Yeah, and I want to do more. greater.
You will.
Thank you.
We all will.
Thank you.
The energies, they're not going to allow or say, Mama, when she's home, she doesn't allow any half. You can fill in the blank.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But see, you have to realize we're going through a photon belt now. It's a belt of energy particles that are so condensed like a cloud, and Mother Gaia is traveling through it. She'll be going through it for 2,000 years. And as she goes through it, because we are her children, it's going to shift her frequencies and dimensions, and it's shifting our frequencies and dimensions. The crust of the earth is like that of maybe a grape, where sometimes you pinch it and the crust can turn, but the earth itself will stay the same. So the North Pole will become the South Pole, and the South Pole will become the North Pole over time. Being aware of just that will help you through the shift.
To navigate.
You know, get yourself a hobby. Let your children, watch your children and see what they are drawn to, and then support them in that. Because they are going to need support going through this shift also. Not as much as us, though. You understand? Because they just came from the divine. And there are beings that they tap into, you know,
that we can't.
Because we're so dense.
Yes.
We've become so dense.
Yeah.
We have to enlighten ourselves again. Do you understand? We have to go back to our diet and put that meat down, and put those starches down, because they make us dense, thick. Do you understand? We have to pick up water foods, raw, fresh vegetables and foods, and fruits. They call them electromagnetic foods. Do you understand? Because water is the gateway to the spiritual realm. So we're already made of, some people say 70%, some people say 90%. We're water beings. Do you understand? The majority of us are water. So you have to feed yourself. Gods eat water food. Do you understand? Electromagnetic current food. And that's what all of us are. We merely forgot. Do you understand?
So you're saying plant-based diets, fruits, vegetables, more no meat type? Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Because it makes us.
I mean, it's a weaning off process.
Right.
And then when you get there, you know, if your soul desires, oh, I need a taste of this or that, you know. And like, if you need a taste of chicken, go and get it. Don't deprive yourself of it. You understand? I'd stay away from that pork, though. You understand? Because that's not even real stuff. But anyway, you have to learn to love your soul, which is what you were entrusted with when you incarnated, as we've been taught to love others outside. You understand?
That's good.
Because at the end of the day, it's your soul that you're responsible for. You know, when you check out, it's your soul. Do you understand? The light, the brighter or how bright it shines, that the overseers, the ancestors will see. Do you understand? If it's dulled down and they can't see, first of all, the light of your soul will go back into unity. You understand? Now that they're vibing in on us now, and they are, they don't miss nothing, because we're carrying them around with us in our DNA. So this situation is a bright light to them. Do you understand? Can you imagine how much more brighter it will be once others, you understand, are awakened, are enlightened? Do you understand? If you want to teach or leave anything valuable with any soul that you encounter, send them back to their ancestors, you know, who they're walking around with. Do you understand? I mean, when you get up and you lay down and you walk around and you think you're alone, talk to your grandmother, your great-grandmother, whoever it is, call them by name, that makes it more potent. Do you understand? Your grandfathers. I say your grandmothers first because that's your strongest link back. That's that mitochondrial DNA. That's one of the secrets that was secreted. That's the jewel. That's the lineage that kept us strong, solid. Do you understand? We're not a matriarch people.
That's right.
Do you understand? That's from the mindset of another being, another race that is our children, really, but it was their turn to rule. 2000, their time is up. Do you understand? It's still lingering on because they don't want to let go. They're going to have to let go eventually, because our father's son, they're frying them off the planet. Do you understand? So they're running over here trying to get the wombs of our daughters and breed in with them
Yes,
to
yes.
keep them in existence longer.
Yes,
You understand?
yes. Say that.
So there's a reason for everything happening the way that it happens, even a reason for you being right here. Your souls are being called back home. It may be kakra, kakra, that means little by little by little. Do you understand? But eventually, someone in your lineage will come home and represent your DNA lineage. Do you understand? Because all lineages have to come back home to their origin. The Caucasians have to go back to Europe. The whoever has to go back to China. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
In this balancement, in this shift, we are shifting from a three-dimensional realm to a fifth-dimensional realm. In the fifth-dimensional realm, once you enter into it in your body vessel thoughts, do you understand? By the time you work your way through to the high dimension, the the higher end of the fifth dimension, then you become neutral gender. You understand? You're not male or
You
female.
become what?
Neutral gender.
Neutral gender. Got it.
We're not male or female.
Right.
You know, that's just the incarnation that you chose this time around.
sir.
Do you understand? The higher you raise in spiritual,
yes.
in spiritual enlightenment, which there's a sixth dimension, seventh dimension, eighth dimension, and on, you'll realize that you are etheric beings.
Yes.
And there was something you said, I think it was something about what can you do or something. The things we can do now is balance. Do you understand? The masculine and feminine. The masculine and feminine within us, and the masculine and feminine which appear to be separate and different on the planet. We have to come together because in ancient Egypt, the pharaohs and pharaohs, they ruled side by side. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There was no, head, and it goes this way and that. No. It was an input of both frequencies of energy. It was necessary. It was needed.